time I met you, I was 4 years old, thought you were thunder, or the wind fist-fighting trees, or the sound of my father's voice. I never saw that bullet dig a grave for itself in the chestnut armoire 6 inches to the left of my head. I didn't understand why my mother was crying, or my father was drunk. I found out 6 years later he was clearing your throat and forgot to check the chamber. The first time we met, you tried to kill him. But children and alcoholics forgive so easily, especially when it's family. You and me, we share so much common ancestry. We're practically cousins. There's been a bullet wrapped around my grandfather's neck since he was 22 and started feeling homesick for firefights. He hid it inside of a crucifix because warfare had become the only thing he had faith left in. My father hung up his boots before I was born, but upturned whiskey bottles to empty them out like all of the boys you empty out, because he missed the burn of tear gas and kept trying to recapture it, so you understand there are blood ties between you and I. You were the lead embedded in my family tree, and when I was 11, my father tried to teach me to use you like he never did with bikes or baseballs or anything a father should, but I was never much good with you, not like my brother, and again, I was a disappointment. It was the last time my father and I ever really talked. But when I was 15, he tried to kill himself with you. He spent a month in the suicide ward, called me from there on my birthday. I haven't seen him in 6 years. Are you still there with him, reminding him? Then, when I was 16, my best friend tried to end his life with you. Spent 6 months in the suicide ward. Now he's going to school to make movies about people who want to kill themselves. He Skypes with his father on base in Iraq every day, and he couldn't be prouder. When I was 19, you wore a badge and blue, took more lives than I can count, spat copper-coated death like an outdated commodity. Your open mouth blinder than a justice that only sees black or white. We spent that year scared, counting black men's gravestones, madmen's gravestones, children buried for the color of their skin or the pills they couldn't afford to keep taking. We're still fucking counting. And then, when I was 20, you arched the metal of your back into the wrong hands, left 7 dead in Santa Barbara, and one of my lover's best friends was among them. And she would still hate me for using the word was. She still speaks about her in the present tense because she refuses to forget. Then, when I turned 21, you turned my brother's hands into weapons and held them tightly while you led him off to war. I'm hoping you don't leave another bullet hole in my family tree. Your greedy mouth has swallowed too many innocent bodies whole. We've been counting gravestones to fall asleep for far too long. So a week ago, when someone asked me about my stance on gun control, my mouth went mute. I couldn't force anything out. Now that I think about it, I wish that you could say the same.